a very pertinent issue today, and that is COVID-19, which not only India but the whole world and people all across the whole globe are fighting this pandemic for almost over 6 months now. It's very unusual in the history of the nation and the whole world that everybody all across the world is just busy in one thing, is to protect and save its people from the devastating ill effects of a small tiny virus COVID-19, known to the layman as coronavirus. Punjab National Bank has a very distinguished history. It has already, although the bank completes 125 years, but the concept of the bank was born 126 years back on 12th April in 1894, and then, as far as I know, next year itself the first branch was initiated, and today it is probably maybe amongst the top 2 banks in the whole country. A bank with 118 million customers, whatever I could gather as information about the bank, with over 10,910 branches. And now when 2 other banks, the United Bank of India and the Oriental Bank of Commerce, have merged into this, it has over 13,000 plus ATMs all across the country. It is not only serving people in India in a big way, it is serving people in UK, it is serving people in Hong Kong, it is serving people in Kowloon, Dubai, and then of course Kazakhstan, UAE, Shanghai in China, Sydney in Australia, and then it has collaboration with banks where it has a major share in Bhutan as well as Nepal. So it's not a routine bank located in a couple of locations in the country. It has an international spectrum, and also a very pious history with the involvement of the great freedom fighter Lala Lajpat Rai ji, our most revered leader of the freedom movement, and Shri Dayal Singh Majithia ji and many others who were instrumental and who were associated in the birth of the bank and also its management for number of years. Among the great dignitaries of this country, our first Prime Minister Shri Jawaharlal Nehru, father of the nation Mahatma Gandhi, our revered Lal Bahadur Shastri ji, another son of the soil, and also former Prime Minister Shri Mati Indira Gandhi, and the committee of Jallianwala Bagh, something which this country can never forget, and we always remember the people who lost their lives in that massacre. They are all some of the important names who had their association with this bank, who had their accounts in this bank. The bank has been serving humanity with the utmost commitment, sincerity, with a sense of purpose, and with extreme good quality focus on customer care. Today the country is passing through very difficult times, as the whole world is also. For the information of those who are connected with the program, you may like to recall that India is amongst the first country in the whole world where we had responded to the news of a new coronavirus having entered this world through China. That information was received by the whole world officially on 7th of January through the World Health Organization. And here in this ministry, we had organized our first meeting of the group of experts with even representatives from international organizations within less than 24 hours of that information on 8th of January, almost 6 months back. And in that meeting itself, there was no case in the country, nobody had entered India with an infection. But anticipating with our past experience, you all know that India has in the past also faced so many difficult situations. We have already eradicated diseases like smallpox and poliomyelitis from the country. We have fought against many other viruses in the past, starting from the AIDS virus in the 80s to the swine flu or Ebola or Zika and Nipah virus in the recent past. We have fought them very successfully. We had not allowed Ebola to enter India in 2014, and last 2 years, last year itself, we did not allow the Nipah virus to come out of Kerala. So with that experience and anticipating that things that could actually happen in the future, our ministry had drafted detailed action plan, detailed advisories for the whole country, and within the next 7 to 10 days we had shared all those details with all the states, all the health departments of the whole country. We had started very active community surveillance. We had started the point of entry surveillance. Our first case had come to India on 30th of January, and immediately after that the Prime Minister had formed a group of ministers headed by the Health Minister. Until now we have almost had 1.5 dozen meetings of the group. Our Prime Minister from the day one has been monitoring the whole situation very meticulously, and throughout we have adopted a very proactive and graded response. We have had preemptive strategies. We could apprehend the future troubles, and accordingly you have seen that the country went into the lockdown phase. It was a bold decision on the part of the Prime Minister, and to make the country remain prepared for the lockdown, there was that unique innovative experiment of a Janata curfew by the Prime Minister, which was again very successful. We saw lockdown 1, we saw 2, we saw 3, we saw 4, and now we are into unlock 1, and then ultimately today we are into unlock 2. And we have seen in a vast country like India with over 1.35 billion people, and with so many difficulties that we encountered during the past 6 months, whether it was related to Tablighi incident, or whether it was related to the migrant workers, whether it was related to ultimately shifting the migrant workers back, and not only a few couple of thousands, but millions of migrant workers had to be shifted back to their native places. All these bold decisions were taken, they were all implemented. There was a huge setback to economy, but we have all seen that the Prime Minister took very bold decisions even to ensure that we try to revive the economy, we take care of the shock that the country has received due to the setback on the economic front. And today I was very happy to hear Mr. Mallikarjuna when he said that the public sector banks, the private sector banks, the public sector undertakings, and all other various stakeholders like Reserve Bank of India, etc., they are all taking care of ensuring that India, with its vast human resource and its vast experience and its vast potential, under the leadership of our Prime Minister, is able to bring back the economy on the right track and take it forward. And we can see that the fruits have started appearing. Prime Minister had taken bold decisions. We know about the Garib Kalyan packages, we know about the 20 lakh crore economic packages, which took almost 7 days for the Finance Minister to describe them to the whole country. So a lot of things have happened on the various fronts, and the banking sector now has a very great role to play, because those who have suffered, they would certainly need help from the banking sector, and then that help has to be forthcoming in the simplest manner, without any difficulty, without any bottleneck. There has to be a people-friendly approach. This country can never forget the contribution of the banks for the biggest financial inclusion plan of the whole world. The Jan Dhan, the Jan Dhan Yojana, which was announced by the Prime Minister on 15th of August 2014, a couple of months after having become the Prime Minister of the country. The Jan Dhan Yojana, which was announced by the Prime Minister on 15th of August 2014, I think a couple of months after having taken over as the Prime Minister of this country, we saw it was a huge support of the banking sector, that today we can proudly say is over almost like 40 crore people in this country have their bank accounts opened. Virtually everybody in this country has access to banking services. All money by the click of a button is directly transferred into the bank accounts of these poor people. And I fondly remember that on 26th of January 2015, India's name had gone into the Guinness Book of World Record because of the fastest delivery of services through the bank and its officials and its employees, when they ensured that the majority of Indians had their bank accounts. So the point that I want to make is that banking sector is so important, and for carrying out and implementing the progressive schemes and the visionary schemes of our Prime Minister, he banks a lot on the support of the banking sector. And today, when in this COVID pandemic, you have taken over your shoulders the responsibility of providing these masks and the sanitizers free to the people of India in almost all the districts. I think this is certainly a step which should be hugely welcomed by everyone. And as I said earlier, I wish to thank you to all your employees, and through your employees to all your customers. I wish to once again reiterate as Health Minister of India that there is no rocket science involved in preventing the disease from entering your body. If you take care of the basic precautions which have been emphasized and reiterated and talked by the Prime Minister also on so many occasions by now, it's only about wearing this mask all the time, and it's about keeping a safe distance from others, and that's about 1 to 2 meters. You call it a social distance or a physical distance. And then just to, otherwise also we Indians are used to following all these precautions about hygiene and all. Our father of the nation used to say that it is keeping cleanliness is next to godliness, and the sanitation movement that was launched on the birthday of the father of the nation in 2014, it has yielded rich dividends, at least in the health sector, I can say. Because of those sanitation activities, a lot of parameters have improved in this country. It is not the function to elaborate upon them. So I have been emphasizing that the whole country, with its scientists, researchers, doctors, ICMR people, CSIR people, biotechnology people, DST people, we are all working hard to develop the vaccine against COVID. We are all working hard to discover a new drug. We are all working hard to repurpose the already existing drugs for the cure against COVID. But till that is achieved, till that success story we can see, the social vaccine that is available to us, and it's very simple: mask, social distance, hand hygiene and respiratory etiquettes, only these 4 things. So you are going to help people with the masks and of course the sanitizers. Sanitizers may be relevant in situations where you don't have a running tap water or a soap. But for the majority of Indians, I would say, if you have a running water and a soap, then there is nothing better than washing your hands with water and soap. Don't have to look for sanitizers. But of course, for ensuring that the surfaces that you touch, that you use, and then of course in places where you may not be able to wash your hands with water and soap, there comes the role of the sanitizers also. So your endeavor today from the Punjab National Bank is going to help the country in a big way.